Yeah, we are seeing some ice starting to form on some of the bridges. So make sure that you avoid those bridges because you just don't know if there's going to be ice on them. So a lot of the bridges in Butler County are starting to see some ice forming. Also in Pike County, Lowndes County, also some ice forming on some bridges over there as well.
And the rule on those bridges, and really anytime you're driving on slippery roads, is to go slow. Do not accelerate. And of course, don't get out there unless you absolutely have to. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is, of course, monitoring our road conditions, and Lieutenant Jeremy Burkett is joining us on the phone. Lieutenant Burkett, what can you tell us about conditions out there?
Well, I think y'all did a terrific job of really describing kind of like where we're at as it relates to you're starting to see some issues with ice and snow, South Montgomery County, Crenshaw County, Lowndes County, Butler County. Of course, we do have a significant crash on Interstate 65 southbound near the 122-mile marker. Really asking everyone to avoid that area if at all possible. It's going to take a while to get that cleared up, and because that's the reality. A lot of times for our wrecker crews, when they get out there and try to recover these vehicles, they're dealing with that ice, they're dealing with the snow, and it slows down the ability to get that roadway clear. So asking everybody to avoid that. And even in the area, Pike County, as we get south of US 82 on US 231, starting to see a lot of ice, especially on those bridges, starting to see a lot of ice on the roadway. And just as you said, really depending on where you are, if you haven't left, to try to make it home, to try to get home, if at all possible, we would encourage you to please go ahead and do that now before we see any more ice on the roadway.
Lieutenant Burkett, let me ask you to clarify, as far as that crash is concerned in Butler County, it's on Interstate 65. We understand that traffic is closed in both directions. Is that correct? And can you tell us exactly how that crash happened? What do we know about what happened there?
That we're still looking at the causation of it, but it's southbound. It's Interstate 65 at the 122-mile marker in Butler County, and absolutely we're looking into that now. Based on the circumstances and the events, we're trying to make that determination now. Really, what we're trying to do right now is of course, provide any medical assistance to anybody that could have been injured in the crash, but also just get that roadway cleared.
Do we know the medical conditions of those involved? Were there people injured in that crash?
Yes, sir. We do have some reports of injuries, but I'm not able to speak to the severity.
All right. Lieutenant Jeremy Burkett from the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency joining us live this afternoon with an update on travel conditions.